Hey, it's Jen, Bitch in a Hurry, Not So Mystical Tarot. This is going to be a reading for the Sun, Moon, or Rising sign of Sagittarius for the new moon on November 7th, 2018. It is a new moon in Scorpio, which is a time of deep transformation, like deep internal stuff. It's a time for new beginnings. It's a time to kind of forgive things that maybe you've had a hard time forgiving. It's a time to set some intentions and a time to be, you want to be very, very clear when you set these intentions. The universe doesn't really do inference, so you want to be very clear. You don't want to say like, I hope my family relationship is better, or I hope I do better at work. You want to say like, I want to make up with my mom. I want to make amends with my sister, or I'd like to have this position at work. I want this promotion. I want this much money per hour. So you see what I'm saying. Be very, very specific. But this is a time of deep inside inner transformation. And so Scorpio being water sign, you're very emotional. You are very deep. Not everybody sees that all the time, and that's okay. But you do have a lot of stuff way deep down that it's time to examine. Another thing I want to say about this new moon in Scorpio on November 7th for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising is that you're going to want to keep this to yourself. Maybe these things that you're forgiving yourself or others for, or whatever you're working through personally and privately, except for the people that it immediately impacts, you may want to keep this to yourself. And what I'm saying by this is like not putting it on social media, maybe not telling people that aren't really your close friends or family, just telling random people. You want to really keep this to yourself. You may feel excited, but not everyone will feel excited for you. So this may be kind of a solo project. Scorpio is ruled by Mars, the god of war. So it can be an abrupt, almost a painful time for you a little bit, but it's also ruled by Pluto, which is like the higher intelligence that you have. So I don't want to say like, it's not like woo-woo, but I mean, it's not the same as like the war going in. So you have kind of everything on your side in this new moon, especially being that you are a Scorpio. With a new moon in Scorpio, like this is your time. One thing that I want to say is, as a Sagittarian, you could have some old things that you have kind of repressed. And I don't mean something bad. I mean, there might be something that you really want to do, something that you want to be, or something you want to have, but something that you've been like, I don't have time for that right now, or I have to do this, I got to pay my bills, you know, whatever. But there may be something that you really, that will make you really happy, that'll make your heart really happy and emotionally will really fulfill you. This is a time when you want to re-examine any of those things and think about bringing them to the surface. You may want to think about finally taking the time. Okay, you know, I've always wanted to do whatever. I'm going to go take classes in this and see to see how if I really enjoy doing it. I mean, maybe a time that you want to think about changing your career because it's something you've always wanted to do, but you've never felt like you had the time or that you didn't have the right to change your mind. And this is a time when there is a major transformation going on, and this is your time. So if you have something from your past, I want you to really seriously think about re-examining that and bringing it to the forefront so that it's something that you can spend some time enjoying in your life. And with all of that said, if for whatever reason this does not resonate with you, please check your moon or your rising sign. I do videos for all 12. And we will get started. By the way, you can find me at bitchinahurry.com. You can also find me on Instagram at bitchinahurry. And I would like to say I am finally caught up on personal readings. So everyone who has booked a reading with me has been read, taken care of, emailed, videoed, whatever it was that you chose to have done. And all my one-card readings are even all done too. So you can send me an email at notsomysticaltarot@gmail.com if you would like to book a personal reading. Or I'm sorry, if you would like to book a personal reading, you can do that, but it's better to do it at Bitch in a Hurry. My website has a button for that. But if you want to get a one-card, one-time like question answered for free, I will do that as long as I have time. And right now I am caught up, so feel free to send me an email to notsomysticaltarot@gmail.com and I will answer a question for you and get to know you, which is always fun. The other thing, like I said, I am finally caught up on personal readings, so if you do want to book a personal reading, I will be able to get back to you pretty fast. All right, I will get started here for the Scorpio new moon for the sign of Sagittarius. Let's begin here. We start out with the Star, which is the card of the Aquarians, but it is the card of wishes and dreams. And then we talked a little bit about having an old joy or something that you might have repressed, something that you really, really loved and makes you feel like this. I want you to definitely re-examine that, because this is a time of transforming yourself, of really examining those things that make you feel this way and bringing them to the surface in the forefront in your life so that you can enjoy them. We're also going to talk a little bit here about the Seven of Pentacles. You can see here, there's all of this fruit that's going on, right? And this stuff is like ripe enough, but it isn't perfect. And you look here, she's got this one fruit that really looks just perfect. And that's what I'm talking about, re-examining the old things that you loved. Don't dig up every single thing that you ever thought was interesting in your past and try to, become perfect at it. It's not that. Pick the one thing that makes you feel like this, that makes you feel like, like you couldn't have another thing in the world that would make you happier. Choose that one thing and really open yourself up to that one thing. I do want to add, if you see the fish around her, fish always are prosperity. So it may be that you will be able to do something you really love that will bring you prosperity, something you'd only ever really dreamed of that you could maybe make a living from. And I did also mention that you want to keep this to yourself. Here you got the Seven of Swords, which sometimes is the thief and all different other things, but a lot of times it's a secret keeper. And that means that it's none of everyone's business what you're up to, especially if you're going to be re-examining some older things that maybe you had tried before or you had always wanted to do, and other people said, oh, no, you can't do that, or, oh, that's not for you. You have to go be a secretary, or you have to go do this. You may want to really examine that. Maybe you want to take up painting, or maybe, you want to go learn jujitsu. I don't know, whatever it is. If that's what you want to do, then you do it. But you may want to keep it to yourself, because everybody else may not be on your page. They may not be getting what you're laying down. They may just think you're nuts. And you don't need that kind of discouragement, because what you going after your dreams here is going to make you feel like is like this. This is the King of Cups, perfect and complete emotional fulfillment. Like, you can't get any better than this. So, like, you're going to be able to do this thing that you really love, that brings you so much joy, and it makes you feel like the King of Cups. It makes you feel, I had some notification come up. It makes you feel completely and totally fulfilled. Like, there's nothing better in the world. So definitely give yourself a little bit of time to figure out how you want to resurrect whatever this thing is that you really want to do. And know that it may take a little while. See the turtles on the bottom of this card? They always remind us that not everything happens overnight. You have to have a little bit of patience here. But it may take a little bit for you to get to this stage, because this is like complete and total enlightenment, and like everything is wonderful. Birds are chirping, It may take you a little bit to get to that, but this is what you're headed for, is ultimate like peace and harmony in your life, and in your personal life, in your working life. This is where we're all trying to go, right? This is why you're here. So we're going to move on from all of that, and we're going to look at the Six of Swords here. And you can see she's put forth quite a bit of mental energy. The swords are mental energy, and you are going to have to think about some of this stuff, re-examining the old joys or things that you've repressed. It may take a little bit of thought for you, and it may make you feel a little tired, and there's nothing wrong here. You look at, she's taking a little bit of a rest. She's taken some time. She's done the mental work, and mental work is very tiring. So she's taking a little bit of a rest, kind of stopping to evaluate. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. Feel free, once you've gone through all of this other stuff, the picking, the choosing, the taking the time to deal with the fact that you did maybe repress some things you always wanted to do and you didn't do. So make sure that you take the little bit of time to rest once you have kind of identified what it is that you want and set a path. You will need to take some time to rest. You can't burn the candle at both ends. That's what that's really saying. We are heading here to the Eight of Pentacles, which says to me that when you do start to do this hard work of of resurrecting whatever this is. And it's going to be a lot of work, but it's work that makes you feel like this, right? It makes you feel fulfilled and happy and joyful. You're going to have a lot to show for it. You're going to be highly productive in that work. I mean, it's not going to go unnoticed that something is changing with you. So know that the work that you put in will be a quality work. It will be very productive for you. We have another asset here in the Queen of Swords. Nothing gets by the Queen of Swords. Her mind is sharp. She is sharp as a tack. There is nothing that she is missing. And she's also nice to temper out here this King of Cups, because the King of Cups is all your emotion, your happiness, your joy. And we can get a little woo-woo with the King of Cups, right? And we don't want to get to where we're not functioning in a realistic manner. So here, the Queen of Swords can help you sort out. It can help you sort out what is logical and intelligent and right, and what is a little bit, maybe a little bit too far in the woo-woo direction. You really want to make sure you keep your head on straight. And it's easy to get, especially as a fire sign, to get like a little bit gung-ho about something and kind of let everything else fall to the wayside. And the Queen of Swords will not allow you to do that. The Queen of Swords will help you keep your rational mind. There's something that may come up for you as you do start to examine the things in your past is this Nine of Swords. And it's a feeling of like looking back over your shoulder, remembering how things didn't go well, remembering the wrongs that occurred, and kind of as you begin this new beautiful journey toward this thing you love, waiting for the other shoe to drop, always looking over your shoulder. And we know that if you're trying to run forward and you're looking over your shoulder the whole time, you're not going to get very far, and it's not going to be productive for you. So know that this will happen. Stop waiting for the other shoe to drop. This is a caution for you here, is to not be waiting for the other shoe to drop. But when you start to feel overwhelmed with like anxiety, because I think that that's a common thing when you start to look into your past, you can be overwhelmed with a great deal of anxiety. And when that happens, take some time away. You have the Hermit here, and I love this card. This just came up in a reading for someone, and it really resonates in this respect as well. You want to take some time to get away, pull yourself back from everything that's going on, but realize here, all the answers that you need are inside you. He's got his own light. He's taking the time away. He knows deep inside what he needs. Really, truly deep inside, you know what you need and what you don't need. You have your own light. The answers lie inside of you. So take that time away. When you start to get this waiting for the other shoe to drop feeling, make sure you take that time. Take a little bit of time away, even an afternoon. Take an hour, go sit at Starbucks, turn your phone off. Whatever you need to do to reset yourself emotionally and mentally, do that. Take that time away to reevaluate so that you can remind yourself, hey, I know what I want to do. I know what makes me feel like this. I have dreams that I want to have in this life come true. And you know what? I'm not going to settle for anything less. So I'm going to take a little bit of time away, re-identify with me, with the light that I have inside of me. I'm going to do that, and everybody else can kind of follow along if they want. And if not, I don't care, because I got everything I need. Everything I need is right here. I got it all anyways. I don't need validation or any other discouragement from an outside source. So sometimes that Hermit is a really great thing when you start to get anxious and overwhelmed. I do want to remind you here, we have the Knight of Pentacles, who always gets the bad rap of the slowest moving energy in the deck. But you know what? He's getting stuff done. And that may be what it feels like. I mean, you're re-examining something from your past. You're kind of starting something up. You're sort of introducing it. You're planning. It's mentally very tiring. But don't worry, because that work is getting done. And it will not go unnoticed. And you can see here, the work you're putting in is you're making something really, really beautiful. So please don't be discouraged. Just know, just like here with the King of Cups, you see the turtles. Just know, slow and steady is okay. We don't have to overnight change everything about ourselves, but slowly and surely we can make those changes and eventually feel like this, and you'll be able to use this Queen of Swords to kind of rid yourself of any of the nonsense that's going on in the background. And here we have one of my favorites, the Queen of Pentacles. She's that mom that has cookies warm from the oven when you come home from school. When you get all of this put together, you're going to have that feeling of like safety, warmth, comfort, love, productivity, everything is going to kind of come together, and you're going to really feel like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. You're going to get that feeling of comfort and love. Can't wait to hear what you guys do. I'll talk to you next month.